This will be all right.
Mr. Armstrong, Bart Sibrel, ABC Digital. Wanted to give you the opportunity to swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon? You have $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon.
Please
I have the
give it to
tape.
charity. It'd be fine.
Why don't you swear to... Why not? Why won't you do it?
The Earth supposedly 23.4 degrees on this axis. And that leaves you, of course, the ecliptic number, again, 66.6 degrees off. Well, Earth is supposedly orbiting around the Sun at 66,600 miles an hour.
Three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Check out the colors and look at the charts. Okay? That's what I want you to look at. Look how blue, look at that, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. I want you, when I get to the Ozarka water, which I thought was the bomb, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Look at the two favorites of mine, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, let me get out of y'all's way and you start taking pictures. You can take a video like this, or you can take a picture.
Is about to end. The world as we know it is about to end. David Icke.
The greatest form of control is where you think you're free when you're being fundamentally manipulated and dictated to. One form of dictatorship is being in a prison cell and you can see the bars and touch them. The other one is sitting in a prison cell but you can't see the bars, so you think you're free.
What the human race is suffering from is mass hypnosis. We are being hypnotized by people like this. Newsreaders, politicians, teachers, lecturers.
We are in a country and in a world that is being run by unbelievably sick people. The chasm between what we're told is going on and what is really going on.
All right, discover 9/11 facts. The day before 9/11, Donald Rumsfeld dropped a bombshell and told the world that $2.3 trillion of unaccounted funds at the Pentagon had gone missing. And guess what? The very next day, and I mean the very next day, 9/11 happened. And guess what? In that massive, massive building, where they were actually doing the investigation of this $2.3 trillion that had gone missing, that's right, American Airlines Flight 77 careered straight into the E-ring. That's right, the E-ring was the exact same place that they were investigating the $2.3 trillion that had gone missing, that Donald Rumsfeld had told us about just the day before. Is that a Discover 9/11 fact or what? Stay tuned for loads more.
So in my previous video, I stated that pedophilia and child grooming and child trafficking are some of the biggest issues globally today. But I need you to understand just how bad. So this is your trigger warning. And if you don't want to know, scroll. 30 to 50 million files of child pornography are traded every day. Between 50 to 90% of the people that view child pornography become hands-on abusers or already are hands-on abusers, and they abuse 50 to 100 children per abuser in their lifetime. It's not just nude imagery, it's not just molestation, it's sodomy, it's bestiality, which is having an animal penetrate that child. It's penetrative rape, it's bondage and torture. And these kids are visibly prepubescent, as young as infants with the umbilical cord still attached. And oftentimes these predators choose career fields where they're going to have access to children, which means schools, adoption centers, etc. But the media doesn't talk about it, not because of the children, but because of who the customers are. Please protect your children from social media.
This is a video exposing Black Lives Matter Incorporated for what it really is, a money laundering scheme for white liberal politicians. Okay, if we're going to scroll down here to donate, urgent, fund the movement, like every celebrity tells you. They're on the payroll too, don't worry. We're going to scroll down to Act Blue Charities here, where all of these donations are received. Now, we're going to expect that it's all going to go to black communities, right? Black Lives Matter, right? Well, let's pull up their expenditure report and, hold them accountable here. So we're going to scroll through and we're going to find out that they received $2.3 billion of your hard-earned money. Okay, well, let's scroll down and see where that hard-earned money went to. Oh, look, white liberal politicians, $387 million to a racist in Joe Biden who's going to do nothing for the black community. I find it ironic that the Democratic Party who started slavery is now taking your money and doing absolutely nothing for the black communities with it. What a surprise.
Imagine you're a terrorist. You're about to carry out one of the greatest atrocities ever. You've got your knife, you've got your fake bomb, you've got your passport. You're nervous, but you get through customs. You get on that jumbo jet. 500 miles out from New York, you take control of the cockpit. You fly that baby like a professional, straight as an arrow, towards the Twin Towers. You smash it straight through one of the buildings. You're engulfed with the burning flames of 1,000 gallons of jet fuel. 40 minutes later, you've got 100,000 tons of rubble crashing down on your head. You are now obliterated, disintegrated, nothing left. The next day, an FBI agent miraculously picks up your undamaged passport from a street 6 blocks away, showing it off to the world. Since when did they make passports out of titanium?
Have you ever heard of a thing called fluoridation? Fluoridation of water?
We're all on medication right now. Did you use toothpaste with fluoride today? It blocks your pineal gland.
In addition to fluoridating water, there are studies underway to fluoridate salt, flour, fruit juices, soup, sugar, milk, ice cream, Mandrake, children's ice cream. Ugh.
The feds report kids from get fluoride from so many sources, they may be getting too much of it.
You know when fluoridation first began?
No, I don't yet.
1946. 1946, Mandrake. How does that coincide with your post-war commie conspiracy, huh?
Up on Earth. This is how we built the pyramids. You play in the sandbox. It's easy to move a mountain of sand into position. Once you wet sand, it holds its form like concrete. You put the first brick at the apex of this motherfucker, all right? You move sand out of this corner and that corner and place bricks there on both sides all the way to the top. Now you let the sand dry out and drop that brick right through that bitch. Sand under pressure when it's dry moves like fluid. That's why you always find viaducts in all of the motherfucking pyramids, so the sand can shoot the fuck out the bitch. Now you have a hollow chasm.
Early 2000s, a fellow by the name of Jason Vale was diagnosed with cancer for a second time. Not wanting to put his body through chemo again, he took it upon himself to start researching alternative medicines. He found that apricot seeds were chock full of B17, so he began eating 40 plus of them a day, as well as adding in these other fruits that are full of B17 to his diet. And he ended up defeating cancer. No radiation, chemo, drugs, or surgeries needed. Took this information to the internet and began selling the seeds online to other cancer victims. And as they do, the FDA got word of what was going on and decided to sue him. And he ended up doing 5 years in prison. Not because it didn't work, but because he used the word cure. There's a lot of research that proves that B17 is a very powerful cancer fighter. But because you can't patent fruit, there's no money to be made on it. Just another example of the FDA suppressing.
There's a new force of nature at hand, stirring all over the world. They are the young people whom, frankly, we have failed. who are angry, who are organized, who are capable of making a difference. They are a moral army. And the most important thing that we can do for them is to get the hell out of their way.
Here are 4 types of women you should avoid dating or marrying. Number 4, the mothership. If the chick has an army of guy friends or is still in contact with her exes, let me tell you, most of those guys are orbiters or plan Bs. She's engaging in emotional cheating, 1 foot out, 1 foot in, walk away. Number 3, the queen of guilt. If you analyze and see a girl in general that is guilting people in order to get what she wants, throwing tantrums when things don't go her way, the emotional toll on you will not be worth it. You want to cut her fast. 2, the boredom epidemic. If you find out the girl doesn't have much going on in her life, direction, or ambition, you, the high-quality male, will get dragged down. When they have nothing else to do, they breed unnecessary drama. And number 1, cesspool of darkness. If the girl has an inner circle of family or friends that are negative, cynical, self-destructive, toxic, or whatever the case may be, it's a massive red flag for you. It'll all transfer into your life. And be sure to join our Red Pill Discord community.
There is a 2,500-year-old map that annotates the location of Atlantis in Northwest Africa, seemingly in the exact location of the Rekot structure. And this map was created by the so-called Father of History, a trusted source of documentation praised by modern-day historians for his ability to systematically document information in vivid detail. Then we have this mysterious and incredibly unique structure in Mauritania known as the Rekot. This structure just so happens to be made of concentric circles, just as Plato had stated. But not only that, it consists of the precise amount of rings, 3 that would be of water and 2 of land. And on top of that, it just so happens to be the precise size of how Atlantis was described, measuring 23.5 kilometers or 14.5 miles across when computed in modern day measurements. It also has
the long-awaited return of the Son or Christ.
I was asked to give my thoughts about this. In the Bible, it talks about the New Jerusalem or the Messiah returning back here between 70 to 80 years after the Kingdom of Jerusalem is established. Israel was founded in 1948, 72 years ago. Also important to note that the grand conjunction, the facing of Jupiter and Saturn in the constellation Aquarius, is going to be happening for the first time in 615 years. In 1405, the last emperor of the Byzantine Empire was born, and the Mongolian Empire fell. I personally do not believe that actual Christ is coming back to Earth, but rather Christ consciousness will be coming to Earth. True Savior will be born within each individual. Why do you think there's such an influx of spiritual awakenings? We have to prepare so we can be ready and help the others. And those are my thoughts on that.
Hello, my name is Heike Schöning. I'm a medical doctor from Germany, and I'm one of the founders of Doctors for the Truth, Ärzte für Aufklärung, and plus I'm a co-founder of their Extra Parliamentary Inquiry Committee on COVID-19. So this is an association of more than 1,000 medical doctors around the world, and together we are saying the measures of the government regarding COVID-19 are absolutely inappropriate.
This is a disgrace. Anything to say, sir? Get out of the road for me, please. Yes, sir. 1 minute, sir. Way round. Thank you. Thank you very much. Get out of the road.
Communities. We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. more alarming. Some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous.
It takes a team of highly skilled engineers to land a fly on somebody's head. We typically get hired to land a fly on high-profile political candidates during live events that are being broadcast to a large audience. You might have seen our work in 2016 when we landed a fly right on Hillary Clinton's eyebrows, or more recently during the vice presidential debate when we landed a fly on Mike Pence's head and it sat there for about 2 minutes. The objective is usually to distract the viewer from what the candidate is saying, and more importantly, distract the media from reporting about what the candidate is saying and focus more on the fly itself. And let's face it, nobody remembers what Mike Pence said during those 2 minutes our fly was sitting on his head. We design and engineer all of our models in-house. Our first prototype was used in 2009 to land on President Obama's face. Unfortunately, he was able to smack it down and completely destroy our prototype, which was unfortunate because it was really expensive. But we plan to debut our next generation of flies in the upcoming and final presidential debate. That particular model is able to drop a tiny little poop on the candidate's head. So we're really excited about that.
Before I start, I just want to say if I die, it wasn't an accident. I love my life. The Large Hadron Collider, also known as CERN. This giant machine is 17 miles long and built 300 feet under the ground. It's in Switzerland, and what it does is smashes atoms at the speed of light. You know, the same way that nuclear bombs go off by splitting atoms, which is why the organization originally started. Now they've made achievements such as created antimatter, discovered the God particle, and Stephen Hawking says no. And scientists were starting to discover that there may even be parallel universes, which could explain the Mandela effect and potentially time travel. Here's when it gets even crazier. Here is Shiva. She is deemed as the destroyer, creator, and preserver, one of the most powerful deities. This exact statue is directly outside CERN's main building. They do a super weird opening ceremony for this. There's even a video of an alleged sacrifice in front of the statue, and clips of the ceremony.
There's an image of...
Whistleblowers Part 4. Toot toot!
All information dealing with alien or alien reproduced technology or alien reproduced vehicles or any other kinds of things well hidden from the American public. Our black budget, for instance, garners $1.023 trillion every 2 years. It's over $500 billion a year. Right now, there are 131 active deep underground military bases in the United States. There's 1,477 of them worldwide.
If you want to watch the full interview, it's in the new link tree in my bio where I'm going to be posting all of the links to everything that I talk about.
To see New York? We could all go with the bus company's special Super Sitter fare. $9? This one's on me.
So, did you know that humans can only see 0.0035% of the electromagnetic spectrum? This means that 99.99% of all the shit that be going on around us, we can't even see it. And I know y'all have probably been seeing this floating around. These are CIA declassified documents stating that we basically live in a hologram. Basically making it clear that we have been living illusions our entire life. Basically making it clear that we create our own realities. Making it clear that a lot of us have been living a lie. It also talks about how the mind is a hologram, which explains why manifestation is 110% real and why it works.
Every single world leader reports to these 13 families of the Illuminati bloodline. Google it. There's an actual CIA government article that's 299 pages long that breaks down how they control every aspect of industry in the history of humanity.